Yo, what's up, everybody? For those who may not know me, my name is Bradley. I do media for a PlayStation 5 Madden CFM, Madden Elite. I am joined by a couple of cats in that league. Those cats being next to me, you see Freight Train Shane, you see Mex, and then below them is a homie of mine that's in a couple PlayStation 4 leagues. Chuck, you can also find Chuck over at SSB Chuck on Twitch. And I believe maybe also Twitter, some other places, all that jazz. But cool cat, check them out. We're not here though to talk about Madden Elite. We're here to talk about a very exciting thing going on in the Madden community right now. That exciting thing being a different league, pros versus Shmoes. Like Joe Schmoes, your average Joe. Yeah, there you go. Freight got it. Freight got it. But so basically, the ideal of this league, it's got a couple of actual pros in it that are playing with your average Madden players. Those pros being Kyler Murray, Hollywood Brown, Cody Ford, and then also the upcoming rookie running back, running back in this year's draft class, Trey Sherman, who played his senior year over at the Ohio State University. Freight, how you? Yeah. Freight's up there in Columbus.
Right.
There's a lot of cats in the Madden community and the CFM community kind of coming behind this league, backing this league, doing media for this league. Down in the bottom right hand corner, you can see all of those kind of communities represented. We got SPA involved in this league crawler, Sodom Bowl, Maddenverse, Madden Elite Evolution, Snipes TV, CG, and then also Madden Elite. So there's a ton of people involved in this, and the CFM community is really looking to come behind this and back this. As we go into this, the ideal of pros playing with CFM guys is a really fun ideal. And within like the Madden community in general is kind of broken between these like warring factions. I don't know if you would call it that, but there's kind of different camps within the Madden community. Like you got your competitive players, you got your MUT players, you got your CFM players, and like there's a lot of debate about which of these groups of players are the best. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I feel like the best, the cream of the crop is the CFM guys. I've seen MUT guys come in. They're all like, I play MUT. That's real Madden. And then they just get obliterated by the CFM guys. When I met Chuck here, right? When I met Chuck down there, right? When I met Chuck, I met him at the beginning of last cycle. And I found him in some like random Twitch streamers Twitch chat. And he's going on about how he's like ranked like top 10 in Madden at the time. And Chuck, I don't believe you have a CFM title yet, do you? Do you? So like Chuck, to me, like you're a
I do.
representation of the competitive
I do.
community. You do? You do? Which league? What league?
I have two on Xbox. I have none on PlayStation though.
All right,
All my
I can't bash. I would normally bash you for saying being like I got Xbox CFM's like Super Bowl, but I can't bash that right now because us PlayStation guys are kind of outnumbered in this. So moving on. Freight, freight. I believe you have been around the CFM community for a very long time, and I believe you have
At least
had.
10 years. Yep.
I believe you've had pro players in your leagues before. Who were they, and how did that go?
Well, D'Angelo Hall was the big one. He played through a couple of different leagues, and truthfully, he started. He struggled a little bit when he got in because the game is different. I mean, obviously, the difference. You get a lot of pro players that come in and they can read the hell out of the defense. They can read everything, but the way the Madden players react are nothing like what it is in on the field in real life. So unless you've been a gamer and been playing for a long time, I think that you tend to struggle a little bit. I think you see it a few times. There's YouTubers out there like my boy Pizza has had several NFL players play head to head, and it's oftentimes you see the NFL guys, they get 100 put on them because they're not prepared. So I think a lot of times it'll come down to the rule sets that you're playing under, because that will define how the skill levels of the users, the non, we'll call them the schmoes, right? the skill level of the Shmoes matches up against the real NFLers. Now there are guys that that play hard. I've seen we see Austin Eckler playing all the time, and Austin can ball. So it goes by player how much they actually get on the game.
Didn't you? I believe I heard you mention one time you had Tebow in your league.
We believe we had Tebow.
You believe
Tebow.
you had Tebow? It
We're
might not have
pretty
been
certain we
Tebow.
had Tebow. It might not have been Tebow, but we're pretty certain it was Tebow.
How did maybe Tebow do in the league?
He murdered people. He murdered people until people started like
I could see
realizing
that. I could see that. Insert that one clip. Like the clipped up video of Tebow. All he does is win. Right. Insert that. Mex. I don't know if you remember, but there was a guy one time, right? There was a guy one time that we were rolling with for a few cycles. Kashim Green. He played in the NFL. You recall that? Yeah.
How? Yeah, I remember that guy.
Yeah. How would you say he did? Laugh. Not good. Not good.
I felt bad for him. I remember him in the league. I want to say he had the Panthers, or I forgot. Somebody told me that he played. I remember he was kind of like a one and doneer. I don't have anything against pros trying to get in and play the game. I just feel like I don't know, man. I think the people that actually, cause, I mean, they're doing. Not to say that we don't have jobs and stuff, but I feel like they don't. They're going to be very few and far apart that actually can really ball out with, let's say, pros, because that's what they do. That's all they do. Whether it's CFM, mutt, whatever it is, that's what they do. That's their grind. Versus these guys, this is just for fun for them. They're just like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna, you know what I mean? I'm gonna get on these sticks. But now the one pro that I say that I played with, I mean, it was just kind of like a, whatever. I just barely. I don't have 10 years. Like Frey, that's crazy to me. I was just having this discussion with Bradley that dude, I'm old too. But I just barely started playing like 2 Maddens ago in CFM, like more serious. I was just playing the buddies around, and when I was a lot younger, I used to play a lot more. Back when they used to have those signups for Madden, and they would only allow 500 people per city. Like we went out to like San Francisco, and you'd play 2-minute quarters. They would bring the PlayStation 2 in a truck, set it up. It was at the Giants Stadium, the San Francisco Giants. But anyways, I don't know. I find it like Bradley. Like I get where he's saying CFM. If all you do is you play mutt and you come over to CFM, of course you're gonna have a hard time. Right? And vice versa too. If all you do is you play CFM and you think you're gonna go to mutt, you're gonna have a hard time. They're almost 2 different games in themselves, just because now that Madden added abilities. These abilities run the game. Even on CFM as well too. I mean, we all know what it is. And now that they added that you can choose your ability and change it from game to game, where you just do your opponent and you look, it's a huge difference.
I like that. I like your abilities running Madden idea, but I want to double down, and I want to say that animations really run Madden.
Knowing how to trigger the animations is huge.
Despite how, I mean, if you know how to trigger them, that's a different story. But like, just for like the average player that comes into these CFMs and that expects that it's going to be like a cakewalk and stuff like that, animations really play it's crazy. Just like it doesn't even depend on your skill. It's just the animations will happen, and the animations fall into one or the other favor. And
I'm not willing to go that far. I won't say it won't depend on your skill, because you've got to be able to read the defense. You see people struggle like all the time that go 0-16. It's not because they couldn't trigger animations or the animations led them to losses in every single game. There's a reason why the best players are always at the top, and the best players are competitive no matter what league or MUT or CFM they go to or head to head. They're always going to be competitive, where you've got people that struggle, and they'll struggle in every single one of the modes of Madden. So I don't know if I can say it's all about the animations, but the animations do play a role.
So,
all right, let's say, my fault. Let's say like you got 2 great players though. You got 2 great players. A little bit time left in the clock. Down to the game. It matters between a little, like it's a 4th and inches game to dictate the game. It matters with a little animation, like with the lineman coming crashing through, and you can't fight for it with somebody who has the fight for it, but you can't reach that because you don't get the animation. It's 2 good players. Stuff like that. I'm not saying it like dictates every single outcome of the game, but in crucial points, Madden decides itself, hey, we're gonna throw the animation in there to turn the game out the way just like you know what I mean. Like I'm saying so like let's say the game's going straightforward, clean, two great players going at it, neck and neck, great defense, great offense, great game. There's that one animation down the road, maybe in the fourth quarter, third quarter, somewhere along the line that really like brings the game where it not needed to be. That's what I'm saying. I didn't mean it like they don't dictate it obviously because what you were saying, Mex, about like being able to update abilities every week. The leagues that I'm in, we don't have that, bro. We only have like you get to touch it one time a year, and that's only one person. So like the whole idea of the CFM allowing you to switch them every week,
I hate that.
that's crazy. So that in that sense, yeah, that dictates Madden. Because if you can change that every week, especially going against the people that you know who you're going up against, bro, that's like chess, but like you're up in the sky sitting on clouds. It's crazy.
So
Totally agree.
kind of following up on that whole animation thing. I think in our last kind of looking to the Elite League in our last commentary stream we did, I think we saw an animation in the game prematurely. We had that kickoff there with like a minute left. OC was kicking off to Malibu. It was a kickoff return, and OC's guy like truck sticked him, and Malibu's guy fumbled the ball, and he got the ball right back. End of game. But in the same breath, and the guys kind of pointed this out after the game, like you have like bullcrap Madden animations throughout the game. It's just part of the game. But you know, shifting gears a little bit. How do you guys? So pros versus schmoes, right? Last night, it's a fantasy draft league. Last night, the draft went down. How do you guys think the pros did in drafting their teams?
I think the Shmoes are going to do much better than the pros. I think I'm going to give the edge to because the pros, they've got experience with guys and they're going to draft them based on how they are in the NFL, right? Whereas us regular Shmoes, when we look at a player, we can see a 65 overall that is a Madden beast, but he's a no name in the NFL, right? So I'm going to put the edge towards the Shmoes. Max, what's your take?
Yeah, like I said, I mean, I kind of touched on it before, but I think the guys who do this daily grind, like you said, they know the players, they know the speed, they know, like we all learned real quick, hey, change of directions new, that's huge. That's huge in Madden. And these guys know it. They know which player has it. They know where they can reach. This is almost like playing fantasy football on top of playing Madden. So now I'm going to get the advantage, not to shout out the Raiders, but we got a guy, Tanner Muse, where his speed and change. I mean, his acceleration is huge, and that'd be a steal. I know one of my guys, he turned Muse into an X factor in another league, and it's just like if you know those players and you can get the jump advantage, I think that's already 1 point towards the Shmoes.
I agree with what you're saying, and to piggyback off that, I don't think like okay, so we only have like there's going to be 4 pros in this league, which means there's going to be 28 Shmoes. So from the number wise would tell us, yes, like the Shmoes are gonna like do a lot better because there's a lot more Shmoes. But we act like professional NFL players, professional NBA, like whatever, professional sports players don't play these games every single day on their off season.
Yep, absolutely.
Like we act like they're not constantly logging in hours upon playing each other, playing people, like random games. They know about the speed just as much as we know. They know players, and even if they don't, you can't act like it doesn't take but a minute to just research. So I mean, the whole research aspect of things, I want to give I really want to I'm a Kyler Murray fan, and I don't think he makes the best plays on the field, but I definitely think his intellect would be sharp. I definitely think he's a Madden player, so I'm pretty sure I haven't seen his team yet, but I'm pretty sure he's a smart enough guy to not only go for top guys, to like build his team off of the way that almost essentially the Cardinals are in real life, honestly, because the way the Cardinals are built in real life are a good team. So I'm assuming that's what he's gonna go for. So in my head, I know he's the ultimate pro in this league. He's like the most known pro. I'm just thinking he's gonna pop off like with his team building. I don't know how he plays, but I just know from the kind of the little bit of 15 to 20 seconds that I saw in the little stream yesterday, he's got a good head on his shoulders in terms of a GM. So I'm gonna go with the pros.
You guys, Freight, Mex, you guys might be surprised. I think you're going to be surprised. So, I would say I kind of went into this, right, thinking that the pros, like the teams they drafted, wouldn't be that great. However, I mean, it is definitely inflated towards the Shmoes, right? Because, I mean, we have 4 pros.
Yeah.
The tiers of team rankings, right? There are 2 teams rated at 78 overall, 4 teams rated at 79 overall, 1 team at 80 overall, 5 teams at 81, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 at 82, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 at 83, 3 at 84, 3 at 85. Amongst the teams that hit 85, one is Cody Ford from the Bills.
He's Washington football team, right?
Yep. Washington football team. Cody Ford, Washington football team. And then amongst the 84 overall teams, Hollywood Brown is in there with the Ravens.
Yep.
Let's see. Kyler Murray, the overall of his team is 83. He got the Arizona Cardinals. No surprise there. And then also at 83 overall, Trey Sherman with the Chargers.
Oh, so you're telling me that they front loaded the like they're all at the top of the league instead of just being even scattered. They're all at the top.
Well, there may be a reason for that because they may be drafting more senior, older players that have high overalls. And what we know in Madden is that overall does not dictate your player skill. You can have a 90 overall player and he's nowhere near as good as a 70 overall player just because of the attributes. So the attributes are what matter. The overall ranking and the overall rating is highly dictated by the awareness trait. And a lot of these players, the user is the awareness, so it doesn't really matter what their awareness trait is.
Kyler has Sam Darnold backing him up. Like that's fire. Like that's a smart choice. That's a smart pick. Like damn.
You're looking at the Cardinals.
I'm looking to see if what Freight was talking about is true about him drafting like high overalls, and it kind of looks like he doesn't really have anybody over 90 on his offense. Not one person over 90 on his offense.
I was kind of peeking at the rosters earlier. Let's all take a look at the Cardinals roster, right? I noticed something earlier, and it kind of made me scratch my head a little bit about Kyler's team. You would think Kyler Murray, right? He would have love and appreciation for the offensive line. Let's take a look at this offensive line. He got
Armstead and Hudson. You can't do that much.
Or next gen.
This is next gen. It's Xbox next gen.
So O-line matters more than it does in the old version. So I think that
he has 2 superstars and 2 stars on the offensive line. If that's not hitting,
he does. I mean, he's got some good guys in there.
Because linemen are the only position, like the offensive linemen are the only positions that don't get dev upgrades, so they stay the way they are. So if you have 2 superstars and 2 stars on the line to start out with, come on,
that's
man.
Money.
There is 2 things.
And then look, hold on.
Put Morse at guard or something, and Darrell Williams over there at tackle. That's a great O line.
You literally have Gronk, who's I'm pretty sure he's not that bad at blocking, right? Is he average at blocking?
He's got a 72 run block.
Yeah.
Because then in the backfield he has Joe Mixon, Miles Sanders, and Ty Montgomery. It's gonna be disgusting.
Yeah, looking at it now, I think maybe I'm overreacting to this. I was just looking at the guards. At left guard, he's got a 64 overall. Right guard, he's got a 62 overall. But he's got depth in the other position of his offensive line, so it's not bad. It's not bad.
Where I worry on Kyler's team is, we're looking at the Cardinals, right?
Yeah.
All right. When I look at this team, speed at wide receiver.
Yeah, definitely. I just saw that too.
This team is going to struggle throwing the ball. Juju's out there with 89. He's going to catch the ball, but there's not like from a Madden perspective, Deebo Samuel is going to be his best wide receiver here, right?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. He's probably going to go with dual back sets and just try to like keep shit short, keep it like 5-yard passes, get Joe Mixon heated, get to him an X factor. Once you get Joe Mixon to an X factor, and if he gets the What was that specific one I had? I forget. I forget all the
Tank.
names to it. No, there's
Freight
one.
train.
It might be
Freight
Freight
train.
Train. Yeah. It's
I
like-
know. I know
I'm
you
not,
had.
I'm not even. I have trouble starting Greg Ward, Trey Quinn, or Marcel Atman on my Madden team. Those guys are bench for me.
Yeah,
87
like
speed, 87 speed, 86 speed.
yeah, like Freight said, when your fastest receiver is a 92 overall, you're gonna, and then your next fastest is at 89. Yeah, you're gonna have a problem, man. Like, hold on, let me see if, and look at the releases. There's not even one above 85.
I'm gonna press him all day.
Yeah, dude, he is, bro. He is, dude.
He's gonna be
Kyler.
run heavy. He's gonna be run heavy and short passing game to tight ends.
I
think
mean-
they're wrong for beating this team in reception.
Kyler.
There's going to be a lot of read options from this team, most likely. I mean, you got Kyler Murray, you got Joe Mixon. Like that's a scary,
Well,
scary,
you know
scary
what's
running front there.
The other problem with this is Kyler didn't value speed at all. If you look at his secondary, look at his cornerbacks and his safeties. They're all slow. He's going to get beat over the top all the time.
So yeah, I guess going back to what you said, thinking about like, hey man, does he know about the speedy people? Obviously not. I mean he could have. I mean he could have knew about one speedy cornerback or at least one speedy receiver, like maybe in the second or third round somewhere, but it doesn't look like it.
Oh my! Like really looking at this, I think Freight's onto something here. In his secondary, there are 2 players with 90 speed, and that's it. Everybody else is in the 80s.
Yep.
And there's no, and then again, like I like to, if their speed's gonna be low, I like to give them the benefit of the doubt and go look at their man and zone. But
And
all
it's
these
not
guys'
good.
man and zone are ass.
If you play in the Cardinals, you can be sure he ain't gonna be running no man defense on you. It's gonna be zone all day. Let's shift up gears a little bit and peek at
he's
some of
got-
the other teams.
All right. Yep. Let's go.
Let's hop over and look at. So let's try and go through all the pros real quick, and then we'll kind of look at the bottom of the barrel guys and make fun of their teams because that's what we do around here. Let's hop over to the Ravens.
I do have to step away for like 5 minutes.
All right, you're good, man.
Yeah, I'm just step away. I'll be right back though.
All right.
All right. Raven.
So unlike Kyler Murray, Hollywood Brown was not able to draft himself. I believe it's like the Lions or someone that got Hollywood. Quarterback. Oh! You guys see
Flacco's
what
gonna
he's
be
got
the
at
starter
quarterback?
in Baltimore. Unless he's going to play, he may start Taysom Hill. You see a lot of Madden guys starting with Taysom Hill. So with that 90 speed.
I'm hurting a little bit looking at his quarterback situation. You're muted, Max.
Yeah, he's definitely going to struggle from the quarterback position. However, I think Hill.
there?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Pretty well. There you are, Mac.
I wonder like how much development they're going to get out of this. So they are doing daily advance, so that will definitely help speed up the progression. But I wonder how many seasons they're going to be doing. I don't know the answer to that. It's definitely not a quick solution. And thing about next gen, like what I've seen, when guys have those weaker quarterbacks, for the most times they struggle. Hey, give me one sec, guys. You can go.
All right, so just looking at the quarterback position, you've got Joe Flacco, who has the best passing attributes. But really, I think, would you guys agree that Taysom Hill probably is the guy that you would start with? He's going to play with the 90 speed. He's got a weak throw power, though. That really does concern me.
I hate throw. Like if my throw power is lower than 89, I can't do it.
Yep.
I
So
can't do
I don't
it.
know. Maybe he runs with Flacco. Maybe he runs with Flacco. Although if it's Hollywood's team, that might be some disrespect to the homies, right?
I mean, like it just depends on how he views Flacco. Maybe he views Flacco as the guy that can get it done. If that's the case, then let's just wait to see the vision. But like that is not a good.
So we're struggling at
He might have
quarterback.
something.
Go ahead, Max.
I was gonna say he might have some type of system set up because I was looking at his running back. I really like his with Breida.
Breida and Kareem.
Yeah.
Breida, he's got the best running back in next gen Matt. I don't care what anybody says.
What is
95
Scotty?
speed, and then if
Oh shoot, he has
and
Devontae and Michael Thomas
he's
as
got
well.
Kareem Hunt.
Yep. So let's go
There it
kind
is,
of quick.
and the
'cause we're-
X factor. You have both.
Yeah, he's got a good halfback. got good skill positions here with Devontae. Scotty Miller is a burner. He's definitely got.
But look at his
there.
offensive
Van
line
Jefferson.
too.
Yep, that offensive line is nice. Trent Williams.
That's probably one of the best. Oh
Norwell.
my God! And then his secondary.
He's run heavy. He's clearly run heavy.
Yeah, this is yo. He might be like my prediction to like. And I was in his chat earlier too, like telling him like, hey, we're doing this for your league. Do you think you're going to win the bowl? Look at his cornerbacks: Isaiah Rogers, Perry Nickerson, and Keon Crossing. The third, fourth, and
He's
fifth.
got speed.
Jesus.
Yep. He's got speed, and they're not the best coverage guys, but they're going to run with anybody.
Yeah, zone defense.
So if he's got decent user skill,
So
he
you
can
need
put
his man.
cornerback and make some picks.
That's insane, bro. That's a really good drafted team.
He's got a
Right now, we
nice
like
setup.
Hollywood
Smart.
Brown's
He's
team.
smart.
And was Hollywood's team drafted by a Shmo?
All the pros drafted their own teams. So let's hop over and look at the Washington football team with Cody Ford. He was one of the guys that drafted the highest overall team in the league. It would help if I pull up the right
So right
team.
out the gate, he's got Deshaun Watson at quarterback.
Yeah.
So there's no arguing that that's an awesome Madden quarterback. Halfback, you got to assume Leonard Fournette's going to get the call here. 92 speed. He's a fantastic Madden back. He's a superstar, so he's got abilities. Wide receiver, he's got some speed in Jakeem Grant, my little guy Booga. Vincent Smith, 93 speed. Robbie Anderson, 94. And then guys that will always catch the ball, like Allen Robinson. I think his offense looks pretty damn good. I'm not going to lie.
It's a very nice offense. Very nice offense. And then also Jared Everett at tight end. Could be better, but I mean, those tight ends, you get an average tight end in there, and that's really all you need. Tight end's cheesy in next-gen Madden.
The offensive line looks good. He's got Tunsil. He's got Cody Ford, obviously. Got J.C. Treader, Orlando Brown. I mean, this is a solid offensive line. D-line, J.J. Watt makes a difference.
So kind of looking at like his linebackers and his secondary, we're seeing something similar to what we saw with Kyler. There's not a lot of speed on this defense. He has looks like one linebacker with higher speed, and then in his secondary there is 3 corners with 90 speed, one with 92 speed, but other than that, they're on the slower end.
Yep. And you'll notice we've been kind of blowing over the linebackers for most of the part when we have these discussions on the teams. And that's honestly, if you're asking me, I don't think linebackers play that big of a role in the next gen Madden. They tend to struggle more than anybody.
Yeah, that's something I have.
They nerfed them. I mean, we all know why, because of last year.
Yep.
The last pro team
that's why when you watch a lot of it. Go ahead.
No, go. You can go on, Max.
I
But
was just gonna say we all know that's why when you watch Mutt, they all put the safeties in at linebackers. Linebackers
Yeah.
thing for them. So it all depends on what their league is gonna say.
Yep. So what's the last pro team?
the last pro team is the Chargers.
This is Trey's team.
Yes, Trey Sherman. He's got Drew Brees in at quarterback, Aaron Jones at halfback, pulling in that superstar X factor. Oh, and he's also got Stefan Diggs at wide receiver, Marvin Jones, Tyrell Williams.
Great three-headed monster at running back. I mean, Aaron Jones, Swift, and Muhammad, very underrated Madden back. Wide receivers, Diggs is amazing. Ayuk, I think, can be one of the best wide receivers in Madden if you progress him. He's got some speed. He makes some catches. I think this looks good. Drew Brees, the only thing I'm worried about is his 81 throw power.
Yeah, that's definitely something you have to navigate. I mean, it could be worse. I mean, you could be in Hollywood's situation at quarterback.
That's true. That's absolutely true. Solid tight ends.
That's a bad situation.
With CJ and Kyle Rudolph. We've seen CJ go off in a bunch of different leagues, so we know that's going to be a...
Look at this offensive line.
So, the center and the right guard look pretty good, but everywhere else you can clearly see he left the offensive line.
Like, is this the Cincinnati Bengals on here? Is this like the IRL Cincinnati Bengals? Like, what's up with this? This is
As
awful.
a Madden fan, I'm used to that, so
Yeah.
I expect a lot of slants and quick passes.
Very nice. All right, guys. Let's kind of. There are two teams tied for worst overall. Let's look at one of them and make fun of them. Okay. We have the Steelers and the Lions. Which one of these teams you guys want to make fun of? I'm kind of leaning towards the Steelers because like I'm a Bengals fan and all that. Which one of these guys do we want to make fun of though?
Let's look at the Steelers then.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
All right, so Cam Newton at quarterback, solid. Halfback.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if it's me, I'm running with T.J. Logan. Some people will run with Balaj because he's got a good truck. But I'm a T.J. Logan guy. I think he's got enough speed. He can get outside, make some changes. But he's got Ruggs and Claypool. That's solid at wide receiver. Mex knows all about the Ruggs cheese going deep. Some play action, and Ruggs is going to make some big plays.
Conley's not a bad option.
Hey, with Cam Newton, with Cam Newton throwing at 91, I could make big things happen with just those two alone.
Cam Newton gets erratic in clutch situations in Madden. I've used him in my league in Elite for a while now, and he's just inconsistent.
This brings me joy. Look at the offensive line. Look at the offensive line of the Steelers. Cam Newton is going to get killed. He's going to get killed.
Running for his life. If people
he's
have
passing.
strong
He's
defensive
gonna be
lines,
passing a lot.
I've not seen a defensive tackle on any of these teams that make me worry about the rush yet, but somebody's got to have them.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully they're all in the AFC North.
And then looking real quick at the secondary here, Lattimore is a solid pick. Darby is a solid pick. Eli Apple he's usually a free agent in most CFMs, but he ends up getting picked up. He's not great, but he'll get the job done. So I feel okay at cornerback. Safety, if he's got, Ashton Davis is a huge Madden safety, especially if you're going to use him. So I love Ashton Davis as a pick here. He's got a massive hit power.
Yeah.
He looks good too. Yeah, I think we're okay in the secondary.
That ultimately the takeaway for the Steelers.
Be that bad either.
That offensive line though, I think we're really going to see we'll really see how important offensive line is when we look at how well this Steeler team does. Like there are people that can get it done without an offensive line, but his linebackers are nice.
I'll be honest, I could play with this team.
Yeah. We're supposed to be making fun of them, right?
Yeah, I know, but
I know that sucks.
What am I going to make fun of? They got J.T. Barrett.
Yeah.
Devin Bush, middle linebacker.
All right, well, guys, I think we're going to wrap this up. Freight, thank you so much for joining us. Mex, thank you so much for joining us. Chuck, you've gone MIA on us, man, but thank you for joining us. Everyone in Pros vs. Shmoes, good luck.
Let's go.
And let's make the most of this.
Let's go.
Peace.